How come desires spring in the mind? Because the mind is dragged into the outside world, which is full of things that arouse desire. In other words, if the issue of sealing on desires has to be tackled, we must clearly start with the mind. The mind, Baba says, is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Maybe that sounds a bit difficult, but let us ask, how do thoughts appear in the mind? They do so in two ways. Firstly, when the senses make contact with some objects or events in the world. For example, you may be window shopping. You see attractive things in the shop and your mind begins to dwell on them. That is one way in which thoughts occur. Alternately, you may be sitting somewhere and your mind may be recalling that window shopping trip you took. That's the second way in which thoughts arise. In general, for thoughts to occur, there must be contact with some objects or some association with some person or events. Okay, what has all this got to do with sealing on desires? Very simple. Let us start from the fact that desires arise in the mind. Now suppose you generate some other thoughts in that same mind so that those connected with desire are pushed out. You may ask, like what? I would reply, maybe thoughts about wonderful darshans of Swami you have had. So, deflection of thought is possible. You might argue, however, that diverting attention from something one desires and craves for to something that is not connected with physical desires would be very difficult. I understand that. For example, when a kid is playing, say, a video game, if dad comes and says, "Son, no more games now, you have to do your homework," the kid surely would not be happy, that is for sure. I mean, which kid would like to do homework instead of playing? However, if one really loves God, if a devotee really loves Baba, as devotees often claim, then a change of attention should not be difficult. That is why, these days, Baba says the first priority must be Deva Priti, or love for God. Now this immediately raises the question, how exactly does one love God? A lot has been written and said on this subject. However, there is no need to be confused by all that. As always, Baba makes it very simple. He says, if you really want to love God, you must also develop a great fear of sin, or Papa Bhiti.
Papa Bhiti,
fear of sin,
Sanganiti. ఈ మూడు కూడాను ముఖ్యమైనటువంటివిగా భావిస్తున్నాము.
Fear of sin, love for God, morality in society are very
ఈ
important.
మొరాలిటీ
This raises a new question. What exactly is sin? Swami has answered that one also.
It is for the sake of
He says, sin is anything that would cause pain to God. You know what I do not like, don't you? I would, for example, not like you to have bad company. There are a number of other things I do not like. Waste of time, waste of money, and so on. All this has been explained in many discourses. So it is not at all difficult to find out what I would not like you to do. Thus, provided you really love me, it is quite easy for you to avoid doing all that displeases me. With all those tips, the close connection between Deva Priti, or love of God, and Papa Bhiti, or fear of sin, should not be difficult to understand. Basically, if one meticulously avoids doing all that God would be unhappy about, then one is well on the road to truly loving God. So that is how love for God and fear of sin get tied together. I hope you follow that.